Welcome back, everybody, to The Art of Doing. Today I want to talk about something that's been talked about quite a lot recently in terms of aging gracefully with your brain. There's been a lot of talk about brain health, the term neurogenesis or neuroplasticity. What does that even mean? And there's been a lot of apps trying to sell you games to keep your brain fresh. Let's talk a little bit about it. Welcome back, everybody, to The Art of Doing. On this channel, we are trying to get you to explore new things and new interests. We want to expose you to some things that might interest you and hopefully spur you into doing some of these things. Doing things is one of the basic human elements, and hopefully by trying out new things and doing new things, you can get some new passion and enjoyment out of life. We're going to be talking about neurogenesis and neuroplasticity today, which kind of goes hand in hand with doing new things. And there are a lot of different ways to increase neurogenesis and neuroplasticity. Well, what is this anyway? Neurogenesis is the growing of new neurons, and neuroplasticity is the brain's capability of rearranging these neural pathways to make things more efficient, faster, better, or newer. And this is important to brain health and aging in that it's thought that with increased neurogenesis and neuroplasticity, you're able to stave off dementia and Alzheimer's and other brain decline, brain-related health, stay sharp, and enjoy your life longer, be able to enjoy things and do things, as this channel is all about, for later into your growing years. And this isn't just important to older people. The more you grow neurons and increase your brain's capability, even as a young person, the more brain health you'll have and the better you will age your brain as you grow older. So what are the ways that you can increase both of these things? Well, like I said, there are apps out that teach you different quick little games and different quizzes to expand your brain, and these work well. However, it's thought that by repeating these things over and over again, you kind of lose the benefit of the newness that generates the new pathways and the new neurons. In other words, when you start the new app, you will gain these benefits, but as you get faster and better at these apps and games, you kind of lose those benefits. You might get better at the game, but you're not necessarily growing new pathways that the brain grew in order to learn the new games in the first place. So there are a bunch of different ways, like I said, that can do one or both of those things. I'll rattle off a bunch of them really quickly. Sleep is important. Travel and taking in new things and enjoying new things, learning an instrument, reading fiction, attempting to speak a new language. These are a lot of things that can help neurogenesis and neuroplasticity. So I want to talk about a few ways that you can increase neurogenesis and neuroplasticity quickly, easily, and free without having to buy new gadgets, sign up for new apps, or like I said, free ways that you don't have to spend a lot of money and put in a lot of effort to do this. So the first way that I'll tell you is doing anything with your non-dominant hand. Most of us are right-handed. I actually have a son who's left-handed, although myself and my wife are both righties. But so for me, doing things with my left hand, and one of the easiest ways that I find that you can practice this is by brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. It seems like a simple thing, but so mindlessly we pick up the toothbrush, we brush our teeth, we don't have to think and exercise our brain at all. By picking that up with your left hand, even though it's not a lot of work for you, it feels a little funky, but the brain has to really build new pathways to understand how to maneuver that left hand around. It's not used to doing this, so it gives your brain a lot of extra exercise, and it doesn't take any time out of your day, completely free, and it's not as much of a pain as trying to write with your left hand, although that works well too. Another way that is great, and I also include in my morning routine, believe it or not, is getting dressed in a different order. All of us have a specific way that we get dressed, you know, underwear, then socks, then pants, then shirt, or however you do it. If you pay attention to how you get dressed, I bet you every morning you get dressed in the exact same order, even down to the sock. Most people will put on the same, you know, for instance, the right sock first, then the left sock every morning. And I bet you pay no attention to this, but if you do pay attention to it, you'll see how repetitive this is and how little brain exercise this takes. Well, you're not doing anything with the brain at that point anyway. You're probably thinking about what you're going to do for the day, and your brain can go through a little extra stress and almost a hormetic response. I'll put a link to my Hormesis video for more understanding about a hormetic response, but you're gonna stress your brain just a little bit to try to get a way to figure out how to get dressed in a different way. And by putting on the left sock first before the right sock, your brain is going to have to develop a new pathway in itself to try to understand this new method or this new order that you're going to go through. And I try to change it up every day. There's only so many combinations, but believe it or not, try putting on that shirt first and see how different that feels. And another free and quick and easy way that you can do this is by reading upside down. This is another one that sounds crazy, and I'm not suggesting reading a book or if you're studying, trying to read something difficult. But if you're trying to take a look at that letterhead, instead of flipping it right side up, just go ahead and try to read it upside down. I've got some young kids, and some of the easier children's books, I try to read upside down to them. You know, they're reading it right side up, but I'm looking down at the book, you know, reading it this way so they can see it. Another quick, easy, and free way to really challenge your brain. This is not an easy thing to do, but because it's not easy, you're really giving your brain some exercise. We always talk about exercising the body and staying fit. Well, there's also a big component of keeping your brain fit. I want to ask you to drop a comment in the comment section down below. Are there any other ways that you know of or that you practice neurogenesis or neuroplasticity and keeping your brain fresh? I'd love to hear your ideas, and hopefully I can incorporate some of those in my routines. And if you're still with us this far, hit that like button. Let's get this message out to more and more people and grow this community. Well, thanks for being with me. Let's always remember to practice kindness, practice compassion, and practice humility. And thanks for being with me to help me practice the art of doing. There's some great videos over here that you might like. Click here to subscribe. And there's a great playlist down here. Thanks, everybody.